Welcome to On Purpose Ministries, where we, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, help you, my brothers and sisters, find your purpose so you can live in purpose, walk with purpose, and do everything on purpose. I'm your sister Rashida, and we welcome you. So, the word today is a friendship nobody will understand in the beginning, but it will all make sense in the end. So, Shalom, family. I pray all is well. I'm here with a kingdom spouse word concerning the movie Lilo and Stitch. I also have a similar word coming out after this today as well concerning the movie Just Right with Queen Latifah and Common. So I was prompted by the Holy Spirit to watch both movies. This one is concerning Lilo and Stitch. So I'm going to go over my notes that I took and give you the breakdown of what was given to me. As usual, family, take the word back to the Father to make sure this word is for you in a right now word. You don't want to be thinking the word is for you right now and it's an out of season word. So you have to always take it back to the Father. So you have Stitch at the beginning of the movie facing judgment for the things he has done, for his destructive ways. He was seen as a threat and was sent to exile, but broke free before they could get him and escape to Earth. The man who created him, who was responsible for how he was acting, was sent to capture him. You have, sent to capture him to get him under control. You have Lilo, who was always left to herself. She was somewhat isolated from others. So she was just out exploring the world and living life on her own. Other girls thought she was weird. They called her garbage girl. She was viewed as trash or less than by others. People just didn't understand her. She didn't have the same support system as they did and was bullied for that. She was picked on for being poor and not having any friends. While her sister was trying her best to support her, she was having problems herself. The sudden changes affected both of them since their parents passed. Her sister put her dreams on hold to assist Lilo. She was willing to throw away her dreams so that her and Lilo wouldn't get separated because the social worker tried to convince Melanie, I think that was her name in the movie, I can't remember, that it was best if she gave up her rights and go chase her dreams. Lilo was mad at her sister because she couldn't always make time for her, even though her sister was trying her best to balance everything. Lilo didn't see it that way, or she just couldn't understand why her sister couldn't always be there. Her sister tried her hardest to convince the social worker that she was fit for the role, that she could manage everything, that she had it all under control. She was put on a certain time limit to get things done. As Stitch is crashing into Earth, Lilo witnesses. She witnesses the crash, but she thinks it's a shooting star, and she says people treat me different. So she wished for a friend, someone who won't tease her, someone who won't leave her, an angel. And I know many of you may be feeling like that right now. God, I just want somebody who will love me for me. God, I just want somebody who will see me, somebody who will notice me, somebody who will help me, somebody who will support me, somebody who will treat me the way that I would treat them. God, I just need a friend. I want that man or woman to support me, to pray with me, to fast for me like I have done for them this entire time. I'm tired of being lonely. I'm tired of being looked at as weird for standing for this person. I'm tired of the judgment that comes with this journey. I'm tired of it all, Father. I just need help. I need a friend. And then the men who were sent to capture Stitch stole someone else's identity to blend in. Lilo chose Stitch out of all the animals she could have chosen from. Stitch chose her because he knew he would be safe. He knew he would be cared for. He knew he would be protected from those who wanted to capture him. At first, the sister was not too fond of Stitch. She did not like him because of all the trouble he was causing. They all tried to convince Lilo that she could have chosen better, just like many of you on your church. People have tried to convince you that God got better for you out there, that you don't have to sit around and wait for no man or woman, that this is not love and God would not have you to do this, God would not have you to do that, or whatever the case may be. But Lilo didn't listen to any of it because her heart was with Stitch, just like your heart is with your God ordained spouse. And no matter how hard you try to separate from them, no matter how hard you try to ignore the feelings that you have, God continuously placed them on your heart for a reason. And even though people may not understand the love that you have for your person, you know that it's a love of God. Not a love that you personally chose for yourself, but a love that God has for you. Because if you had it your way, you would have been walked away. You would have been chose somebody else. You wouldn't put up with the things that you have put up with during this journey. So Lilo didn't listen to any of that because her heart was with Stitch. Nobody understood this friendship. Nobody understood your relationship. Nobody understood this connection between you and your God ordained spouse. They just don't get it. There's so many other people out here in the world that you can choose from. Why do you choose to settle for this? To settle for less is how they see it. Stitch actions not only affected Lilo, but her sister as well. She got fired from her job and nobody wanted to hire her, but it led her to her destiny. Lilo sees how destructive Stitch is and starts to help him correct his destructive ways. She lends a helping hand because she wanted everyone to see what she saw in him. When he saw how much his actions were hurting others, he thought it would be best to run away so he wouldn't cause any more problems. Lilo went after him to convince him that they needed each other, just like this journey has been. They thought it was best to get away from you because they saw the pain that they was causing you. They saw how bad they was their actions were affecting you and those around you. So they separated from you and went on their own path. And you went after them to try to convince them, hey, that this is of God. This is what God has for us. But too many people were in their ear for them to see it. They thought it was best for them not to be around you at all. So they did everything they could to try to keep you away, to try to push you away. But no matter what, Lilo did not give up on Stitch. The same with you. You may have had your moments where you walked away or you cried, you yelled, you stopped praying, you stopped fasting, you might have journeyed off to being with a counterfeit, whatever the case may be, but you always kept them in your heart. They was always on your mind, and you always came back to your post where the Father had you. So that man, the man who was responsible for all that Stitch had done for his destructive ways, tried to convince Stitch that he was messing up Lilo's life and told her he was using her. See how the enemy tries to come in to sow discord, to sow confusion between the two, just like with you and your person. People may have came in and told them, hey, you don't need to deal with her. You don't need to deal with him. That she is not the one for you. He is not the one for you. God has something better for you. If you stay with them, you will only be stuck in this place. You will never grow. You will never be what God has called you to be. All of those seeds of deception that were sown, manifested openly in your union, whether you have been married, whether you have were just a friend to them, or whether God has told you this is the person they had to you, and you have had some type of encounter with them, some type of relationship with them. But from the beginning, it has been interference of you two coming together. People immediately came in to draw a wedge between you two. The man convinced, try his hardest, just like these people did, to convince the your spouse to look the other way, to go the other way. And for a long time, what they were doing was working. So Stitch surrendered to this man and left with him, but Lilo snuck on the ship with him. No matter how far off your spouse has gone, how far they drifted away from God, you never left their side, even though they might have not seen you. They didn't see you. They didn't know that you were there. They didn't know how hard you was praying for them. They didn't know how hard you was fasting for them. They didn't know that you were covering them while they were out in the world doing what it is that they was doing. They didn't know that you have always been there. And it wasn't because of you, and it wasn't in your own strength. It was because the Most High commanded you to. It was because the Most High strengthened you to. It's because the Most High called you to stand for them. Even in that moment of separation, where Stitch thought he was alone, Lilo never left him. She was right there to help him, even in their moment of separation from you. And they thought they was alone, and they thought nobody saw what they was really dealing with, what they was really battling with. God opened up your eyes for you to be able to see, for you to be able to spiritually discern what's truly going on, what they're really dealing with. Even if people around them couldn't see it, God opened up your eyes before He opened up their eyes. And you have always been fighting for them when they thought that they was alone in this mess that they have allowed themselves to be in. So her love for him opened his eyes. His love for her and the love he received from her made him change. Everyone saw they needed each other, and they came together to help keep them together. Even one of the men who was sent to capture Stitch, even the woman who put the hit out on Stitch, saw how much he had changed and released him. People who were against this connection all had a change of heart once they saw how much these two people, Lilo and Stitch, how much they needed each other. When they saw the purpose in the union. The sister represents people in your life who have stood by your side throughout this journey. And at times it may have seemed like they were against your union, or they simply didn't understand. They may have been confused. There might have been confusion between you and them because you couldn't understand why it was so hard for them to get it, to understand the journey that God had called you on. It made you feel like they were against you because although they may have supported you in everything else, you couldn't understand why they wouldn't support you in this. It wasn't because they didn't love you or support you. That's far from the truth. The problem is they care a great deal about you. And they have seen what this union, what this journey has done to you. They had to sit back and watch you cry over this woman or man. They had to see you lose yourself, and they just couldn't understand why you would allow yourself to go through this. Why would God want you to go through it? They didn't understand that you were being refined. They didn't know what it looked like. They have never seen or witnessed anything like this before. The misunderstanding drove a wedge between the two or more of you, depending on how many people you were close with on your journey. Now, of course, not everybody is your friend, and God told you to separate from certain people because they meant you no good. They meant you nothing but harm. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about those friendships or relationships you hold close in your heart that the Most High just won't let you let go of. Those relationships He is restoring in this season. It was just a misunderstanding. They genuinely care for you, and they went through it too with you while trying to balance their own lives. They just didn't want to see you hurting the way you have. So maybe they overstepped some boundaries, but they meant no harm. They just didn't understand. They just didn't think this was of God. God is bringing those relationships back to you, and He will highlight, He will reveal who these people are, but you will already know because they never left your heart. They was always on your mind. Fall is a season of preparation, but also restoration and reconciliation. The man who created Stitch and all these problems represents people who knowingly tried to cause division between you and your spouse. on their side and on your side, mainly on your spouse's side. They are the ones who play a major role in them acting the way they have. They are the ones who encouraged the destructive behaviors. They all had a hand in why your spouse was acting the way they were, why they were treating you the way they were. They convinced them that they were better off without you, that they were better with this counterfeit, that they could do better. They encouraged the counterfeit relationships. They were all for the counterfeit relationship and all against the God ordained relationship that the Most High has called together. They were the reason for the separation. They rejoiced in your pain and suffering. They knew how much this union means to the Most High. They knew the purpose in it, and they knew how much this cost you. They knew the damage this has done. And in hopes, they thought it was beyond repair. But God, they thought all the chaos and drama would be enough to keep you two away from each other. They thought it was the end, that their plan worked, but it's about to backfire in everyone's face who played a hand in this. And they all would have to sit back and watch this union come together. They all would have to face judgment for their parts in it. The man who created all of these problems for Stitch was captured. Though he originally was sent to capture Stitch and failed at every attempt upon his life, he ended up having to face judgment. Not only that, but his partner saw the purpose in this connection and his heart was changed and he offered to stay and help Stitch. Even the lady who wanted Stitch captured couldn't deny how much he had changed, how being with Lilo was exactly what he needed. People are starting to see that this union your spouse was in or is in with this counterfeit is not what they thought it was. It's not benefiting your spouse how they thought it would. That is doing the complete opposite of what they hoped for. They are starting to see eyes are being opened. They're starting to get it now. Everything is starting to make sense. And the ones who were once against this union are having a change of heart. The Most High God is changing the hearts of people, and they will be willing to do whatever is needed to see this promise come to pass. He is sending you destiny helpers. Even those who were once against it will be willing to help. He is changing their hearts. What they were once blind to, God is opening their eyes so they cannot see. His truth, his purpose, his will. Everyone is starting to get it. It's all starting to make sense. Your love is what will win your spouse over, even in their destructive ways, even when they didn't have good intentions, even when they rejected you, abandoned you, and pushed you away, even when they ignored every sign, every warning. They will finally find safety in you and only you. You will bring them back to themselves. You will draw them closer to the Most High. You will assist in this. Don't expect them to come back perfect, but expect them to come back willing to do whatever it takes to fix the mess they made. Expect them to come back with a made up mind, with a changed heart, ready for change and ready to do what it is the Father has told them to do. They will partner with you. They will agree with you. They will fight with you. Together, you two will be inseparable. Nobody will be able to separate you this time. And if this love is new, nobody will be able to keep you two apart. God is saying you will be friends before lovers. Do not despise small beginnings. He is building a new foundation. So don't be sad, don't be angry if they approach you as a friend first before they approach you as a lover. God is building this unit and it's going to be solid. God is making connection and restoring some relationships in your life. People will apologize for how they treated you simply because they didn't understand. They didn't think this was God's will for your life. They thought you were making it all up. But God has given them revelation of what's been happening behind the scenes, things they were not even aware of. They didn't even know what's happening because your spouse and this counterfeit and these people pretended so well. He is making it crystal clear. He is creating a path for you to be joined with your spouse, but this time you won't be alone. This time you won't fight alone. He is sending others to assist you. This promise will be fulfilled. But remember, it might start off slow with you connecting as friends first, but it will pick up quickly. There will be a sudden switch. Do not despise small beginnings. Friends before lovers. So that's it for this word. I made a post, family, about needing assistance. If you are in a position to help, it will be a blessing. That's just the position that God has me in right now, and I'm not going to complain about it. But I thank you and I bless you all. Stay encouraged, keep the faith, and remember, friends before lovers. Do not despise small beginnings. Shalom, family.